Hey, 7th grade! Today we're going to talk a little bit about what your English language arts block is going to look like in middle school. So let's get started. First, I want to ask you, what makes a successful reader? Did you know that becoming a successful reader is kind of like a math problem? There are two parts that make up a whole. These two parts are decoding and language comprehension to equal reading comprehension, which is our goal. Say it with me. Decoding plus language comprehension equals reading comprehension. Good job. And we all know that reading makes life a lot easier. There is our equation. Decoding plus language comprehension equals reading comprehension. What does decoding mean? Decoding means reading the words correctly. Plus, language comprehension means gaining meaning from spoken words that are part of a sentence. Equals reading comprehension, gaining meaning from print. So what will ELA, or English Language Arts, look like this year? These are the three main components of the English Language Arts block: just words, fluency, and close reading, or we like to call it RAW, which we're going to find out what that stands for. First is your just words component. Go ahead and sing this to yourself, just like Rihanna would. So I want you to ask yourself, what do you do when you come to a long, hard word when you're reading? Do you skip over it? Do you say, I don't care, it doesn't matter? Do you go to the dictionary or look it up on Google? What is your strategy when you come to a long, hard word when reading? When you come to a long, hard word, there are a few ways to figure the word out. The first way you might be familiar with. You look at the prefix, the suffix, or the root, just like we learned in Greek and Latin roots. For example, if I came across the word deportation when I was reading, I already know. Port means to carry, and D could mean out. So, deportation could mean to be carried out of the country. Go ahead and try the next root, contradictory. Do you remember what the root and the prefix of that word means? Another way you could figure out how to say a hard word is to think about the syllables, or break it into syllables. We can practice breaking things into syllables with our own name. For example, my name, Sarah. Sarah is 2 syllables. Eichelman. Eichelman is 3 syllables. So I can sound something out based on the syllables or chunks. Go ahead and try clapping out your name now. How many syllables was your name? Just Words is going to focus on the 3 components of our math problem. It's going to focus on word study, spelling, vocabulary, and breaking words apart. and all students in 7th grade are going to participate in just words. The next part of our ELA block is close reading. This is your language comprehension part. Close reading is going to work on strengthening your language comprehension by exposing you to a variety of topics. This will build your background knowledge, which will assist you in comprehending what you read. You will also be applying what you have learned about becoming a strong decoder to help you read the text accurately. For example, last year we put up a picture of the plague streets. We might not have known at the time what plague was, but when we looked at the pictures, the poop on the street, people dumping it out, the long masks that people were wearing, we could use context clues to try to figure out what the plague meant. And we exposed ourselves to new information, which actually helped us now when we are going through the coronavirus. If you see a picture like this one, you might think maybe you'll read about why some NFL teams are changing their team names. Or this image, maybe you'll read about how sand dunes communicate with other dunes nearby. Or maybe you'll read about how bumper tables help with social distancing. Close reading. Let's find out what raw means. Close reading is breaking down a text to determine its meaning. The first part, R, means read. So each week you will read one text that is at your grade level. You will read this text multiple times over the week. Each time you read, you will have a different purpose. A stands for annotate. Each time you read the text, you will read for a different purpose. As you read, you will annotate or mark up the text. You may remember annotating in class, where we actually underlined and wrote on the side of the paper. On Newsela, we did this virtually with different color highlighters and then typed in why we highlighted or annotated that piece of the article and how it relates to the bigger meaning of the article. The W means write. So at the end of the week, you will respond to a question in writing to show your understanding of the text. And fluency. Finally, fluency. This is our ultimate goal, reading comprehension and fluency. So fluency comes once decoding and language comprehension are solid. We want you to read accurately the first time before you work on reading faster. Once you read the words correctly, it'll be so much easier to speed up. Back to our math problem. Decoding plus language comprehension equals reading comprehension. Reading the words correctly or accurately is actually more important than the rate or how fast you read. You will practice fluency each day on a level that is just right for you. If you have any questions, please make sure you enter them in the last note of this Edpuzzle. Thank you for listening. I look forward to seeing you in class. Bye, 7th grade.